And now 5 minutes with Matt Ryan.
Good morning, and it's time for your 5 minutes with Matt Ryan. I, of course, am Matt Ryan. And folks, I don't know about you, but this past week, this past Thursday, my life changed forever, and a lot of people in the New York community's lives changed forever at the Anthony Weiner press conference. Now, unlike most people who saw it on television, I witnessed it live, and I almost died. Now, not in the metaphorical sense that my heart dropped that this great politician left office due to a massive sexting scandal. I mean, I literally almost was crushed by a wave of mutilation known as the press corps.
The people demand to know, Matt.
The people do demand to know, and I will tell you right now. I was on assignment for WRHU because I am the Brooklyn correspondent for Radio Hofstra University because I live there. And
that's a working title, by the way. Just so you know.
Title. I just gave it to myself.
Yes.
I've usurped it.
Yes.
I've usurped the throne.
Yes.
Stand down, Foley. Stand down.
And James Coluccio. Continue.
Fellow Kingsborough alumnus.
Yes.
But I attempt to attend the Anthony Weiner press conference. The fun fact about all of this is nobody knew where it was being held. It changed locations at least 4 times by the time I got to Anthony Weiner's office in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn. It ended up being in a completely different neighborhood, and thank you to Curtis, the NBC Universal photographer, for giving me a lift to said location. We go to this lovely Jewish community center. I try to set up my equipment, and everyone with a camera looks at me like I punched their dog in the face because I am in their way. So I try to get out of the way as quickly as possible. From there, I stand behind Andrea Pizer of the New York Post. That was entertaining. It looks like her face is actually, she just walks around with the box shot of her head from her column, just stuck there.
Ooh.
No, she just had that face, and she had her hand on her chin like she does in her column. So I was just like, yeah, I'm glad I invested that 25 cents this morning.
Boom.
But from there, and I was told I was on the Fox News feed trying to peer over because I couldn't get a seat in the well of photographers and cameramen. So I have to stand by the door where where all Weiner's people are and people from the Jewish Community Center, stand with my equipment and arc myself towards Anthony Weiner and the microphone.
They call that aerobics.
Yes, I was doing aerobic activity. What up, CrossFit? From there, as soon as the press conference is over, I press stop on the recorder and try to jump out of the way. From there, you can hear the word stampede from a mile away. And from there, I get boxed up against the wall and my face smashed up into the Jewish Community Center.
Some call it a stampede, others call it a high school rave.
Yeah, that too. And folks, I just want to let you know that press people can be some of the nicest people in the world. A lot of people in the studio right now are fantastic human beings.
Well.
But when you get in the way of a story, it never ends well, because there were almost some toppled members of the Jewish elderly community that day. There were a lot of angry nurses and nurses' aides yelling at photographers, yelling at press people, even swearing and threatening them because they almost knocked into some octogenarians. It was a very awkward experience. And
I love that word.
And then I, along with fellow correspondent Alex Soberman, walking back to the car so we can go edit and put together the news package, are in front of a Hebrew school. And they are trying to ask me what went down. And me not wanting to get children involved and learn of a sexting scandal, I had to be the nicest way possible and said a bad man did a terrible, terrible thing that no one should ever do. But as always, children always want to know. I almost told them a story about a unicorn, but decided against it.
The tooth fairy's not real?
Yes, and your grandmother actually puts nickels under your pillow.
Aww.
Thanks for spending 5 minutes with me this morning. Next week, we'll be talking about piñatas filled with cottage cheese. A quick point of note. When you're riding the Long Island Railroad on a Sunday, do the best as humanly possible to not smash your knees into someone when sitting across from them. Make it possible for someone to sit there without your mammoth turkey legs boxing into me.
They call that a knee knocker.
Yes, it is a knee knocker, and thank you for spending 5 minutes with Matt Ryan.